to like put you in a whole different direction, a whole different path.
She's right. Let's talk about it. So on today's episode of Terry Ann Talks Up, once again exposing people for how they had me fucked up. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk. So this is a story time about how some random girl from the UK messaged me on Instagram pretending to be a reader, a tarot reader, just so that she can give me personal readings in order to sabotage me and instill doubt and fear into me and basically kind of like redirect me into a different direction. She basically tried to ruin my fucking destiny. Let's talk about it. So here we go. Once upon a time, the year was 2021. I'm talking a lot about twin flames on my TikTok. I was really in my twin flame era, okay? And what happened is that I was posting stuff on TikTok and on Instagram. This was a different Instagram account that I have now, okay? So, because that Instagram account I had to like deactivate and kind of take a break from it because so many people, I kept getting so many gang stalkers, I had to take a break, right? But pretty much what happened is her name is @PreciousAlchemy on Instagram, okay? @PreciousAlchemy. So what she did is that it was around like February of 2021 and she reached out to me via Instagram. Like she followed me and then she messaged me and was like, I love your videos. I love how you talk about twin flames. I'm a reader as well. I would love to do a reading for you. Or maybe one day we could just talk about twin flames. So then fast forward to April, what she does is that she comes in my DMs and she's like, hey, I could do a reading for you. Let me go ahead and do a reading for you right now. I'm pulling some cards. Let's go ahead and do that. First of all, that's a red flag because no person is ever supposed to come to you and demand that they give you a reading. Let me do a reading for you. They're supposed to ask. If you want, sometimes people just ask or whatever, but if they say no, no. Majority of the time, people are supposed to come to the reader to get it done. But anybody that slides in your DMs talk about, hey, I could do a reading for you, or hey, I got a download about you, it's not real. It's not legitimate. They're just only there to either get money, to scam, sabotage you, or they are trying to like exploit you, take advantage of you. So basically, she slides in my DM that she's doing this reading or whatever, but she's asking questions like, the Emperor card filled out. It's something about a father figure. And then I would go into great detail and then she would base off of what I said and interpret it from the reading. That was another thing I did wrong, is never give them too many details. If they're doing a reading for you, they're supposed to tell you the information, but she would ask me questions and then have me inquire. That's not a real reader. Real readers can tell you the information without you having to ask all of these extra detailed questions, okay? They're supposed to tell you things using their gift, their intuition. She wasn't gifted, fuck her. And in the mix of her talking about like, yeah, I see some stuff dealing on with family and all of this kind of stuff. And then she's gonna slide in there. You don't need the man, but there's something about like some trauma that you have to heal from. Like she gonna put that in there like I didn't peep that shit, bro. I knew what the fuck he was doing. And by man, she meant my twin flame. My twin flame and I were in separation. So she was trying to basically like keep us separated, right? She was like, your twin flame cannot be there for you emotionally and he's happy and you're not. Okay, part 2, because I got to go more in detail about it. Okay, so part 2, when a gang stalker reached out to me on Instagram and tried to swap destinies with me, tried to basically sabotage my union with my twin flame, tried to sabotage everything about me. And her name on Instagram is @PreciousAlchemy. Okay, she talks about like, oh, I've been plant-based for 8 years in her bio or everything. And there's her image of like the long, like the natural hair. Yeah, that's her. Mind you, Shorty is from the UK, from across the whole, I'm from the United States. Okay, so the fact that she literally had to go across the whole country and seek me out to come do this shit because she thought I was an easy target, but little did she know how she fucked up because she got the wrong one. So she basically wanted to do a reading for me, but basically the reading was her pulling random cards and asking me questions and then me giving great detail about that and her basing my responses off of, and that would be like that. She would base her response off of my responses. And basically she wasn't doing things from source. It was coming from her own ego. Mind you, another thing that she did is she basically would like do a reading and then would keep messaging me like, I hope everything is well. Make sure you stay hydrated, love. And everything was just so fake. Like we would get on the phone and she was just like, oh, goodbye, love. Oh my gosh, love and light. It's my sister. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And then this other time what she had did is she basically messaged me on Instagram and was like, good morning, my sister. I received a download about you. So go ahead and like, let's do a reading so you can get on the phone with me. And then what she would make me do is make me pay her for these readings. She gonna come to me talking about something, I got a download for you. Here's what's going on. And she made me pay for it. But that last reading, when I went off on her and came back and everything, I told her, I'm like, you know what? I do want my money back. But if you want to keep it because it's that much important, if the money was that important, if you just scam it, then keep that motherfucking money then. Because I did that reverse psychology, that's how she gave me my money back. But I would have let her keep it. But thank you, I got it back anyway, the fuck. So she basically said, like, I received a download about you, but basically the whole entire thing was her just trying to sabotage me. She was telling me, like, you don't need the man, you don't need your twin flame, he can't be there for you emotionally, just let it go, or whatever the case is. Boom. No true twin flame is going to try to sabotage other twin flame connections. She's not a twin flame. That's what she came after, because she knows she's not a twin flame, and she knows that I am. And then another thing that she was doing is she was saying, like, pull less cards. Actually, don't pull any cards at all. Don't monetize your, like, don't use your gifts, and don't monetize your gifts with like using tarot and stuff like that, because that's a part of my purpose. Like, part of my purpose is to use my clairvoyant, my clairaudience, all of my gifts that I have to bring messages to people. That is what helps. That is, I am a channeler, okay? The oracle. She basically was trying to sabotage me by getting me to not walk my purpose and not make the abundance that is rightfully mine by walking my purpose. And then she did something really weird. She basically was like, on Instagram, you know how you can send like those audio messages? She's like, if you want to go ahead and vent and then send a bunch of messages in there, you can go ahead. I won't listen to them at all. But then she comes back a few days later. I listened to all of them. You know my personal information, you weird ass bitch. Okay, part 3. Okay, so what had happened is she basically had kind of got on the phone with me, and we were having this conversation, and she would act like she was doing a reading for me. And she would say a lot of stuff like, oh yeah, spirit is saying this. And it wasn't even what, you know, spirit was saying. It was all a lie. She basically wanted to sabotage me, but wanted to disguise it as, oh, I'm doing a reading, and this is what source is saying to you, so you got to believe this. Some weird ass bullshit. Like, you have nothing better to do with your fucking time that you have to go sabotage somebody that you never even fucking met. Sad, pathetic, precious alchemy. You're a weird ass bitch, like I fucking told you in those DMs. I hope you're seeing this right now. So then another thing that happened is that when I had finally woke up to realize that this girl had basically was sabotaging me, I ended up like reaching back out to her via Instagram, and I was like, you are very wrong for telling me that she received a download about me, because God's not going to send a message through another person and make me pay money when God could just come talk to me directly. So fuck you. I didn't say fuck you, but that's kind of what I'm saying in the heated moment right now. And then what happened is she tries to deny and tries to deflect and say, oh, well, I'm not a prediction master, and that's why I tell you to go within and not seek instant answers. But the whole time, she was the one that wanted to do readings for me. That's not even true. She was the one that basically reached out to me every single time to get a reading. I could do a reading for you. Come on, let me do a reading for you. So I had told her that. I was like, okay. And she had even said some shit like, so you know what? Don't waste any more of my time. And I was like, but you're the one that reached out to me every single time. You are the one that came towards me and wanted to do a reading for you. You are the one that forced me to get a reading for you. You reached out to me every single time. So who really wasted whose fucking time? Sit down. Basically trying to deflect and act like what she did, she didn't do because she got caught. This is what you call a spiritual narcissist, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, spiritual narcissist. So we had more exchanges like in the DMs, and she still was denying everything. So eventually, like, we just blocked each other and moved on. And then fast forward 2 years later, I end up like, you know, making a whole new Instagram account. And then I had tried following her. I just wanted to see if she was going to have my follow request, because she was public, but after all of that shit went down between her and I, she went private because it was a scary ass bitch. I don't know what kind of karma she was getting, but she was getting some badass karma, because even before she had went private, she had not posted a picture since like 2021, and she just kind of like went ghost pretty much. So here comes this year, I end up like following her, and then she accepted my follow request, and then she ended up like going into my DMs talking about like, oh, well, something in my spirit is telling me that I need to stay away from you, but I want to know, how are you doing mentally? She wanted to know how I was doing mentally to see if she can come and try to like fuck with me again, because when you're vulnerable, that's when they come try to get you, right? So I basically was like, you need to hold yourself accountable for how you literally tried to invade my private affairs and tried to stop my destiny and literally tried to like sabotage my whole fucking life. Once again, she denied and she deflected. I even have screenshots of the messages that we had. I can post it. Watch out for these people because they're fake as fuck.